Hi viewers, welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Morlai Hanoputi. Thank you so much for joining me today on this edition of Marriage Clinic Live. And I would like to say happy weekend to each and every one of us. Happy new month. Happy everything. Happy second half of the year. I'm so sorry in the past 2 or 3 weeks now. I've not been able to do any recording or any streaming. I've been so busy with so many things, so I do apologize for that. But I told myself today I must do something today, and here we are. Thank you so much for always following us. For everyone who participates on our Facebook group page, we say thank you to all of you. Thank you to all our followers, to all our new joiner. Thank you to all our new subscribers on our YouTube channel as well. I do celebrate you all. So today I want us to look at what to do when you are married to a spouse that is yet to wake up. What do you need to do when you are married to a man or to a woman that is yet to be woken up, that is yet to be awake, that is yet to wake up to life's reality, that is yet to wake up to their responsibility, that is yet to wake up to the realities of marriage, that someone who is yet to wake up to the enormous responsibility they have at hand, even to the understanding of what marriage entails. Because I tell you, there are quite a number of people these days going into marriage who do not really know what marriage fully entails. They go in without knowledge, or they don't have so much knowledge that could help them to journey through all the ups and downs of marriage. They just went in thinking, oh, that is the next thing to do after graduation, but they are yet to be awake to the realities, or to the happenings, or to the things that marriage entails. So when you're married to this kind of a person, what do you do? How do you navigate through the journey of marriage with such persons? That is what I want to talk about today, and that is what I want to look at. So if you're married to a man or a woman that is yet to be awake, that is yet to wake up to life's reality, one of the things you can do, first of all, is to start out by encouraging them to get knowledge as much as possible, to get knowledge, because such people they need to be knowledgeable. They need to be knowledgeable about the things happening around them. They need to be knowledgeable about what even this institution of marriage entails, what it means to be a husband, to be a man of the house, to be a leader, to be the one who is the head of the home. They need to be awake to the knowledge of what it entails to be a wife, to be a mother, to be the woman of the home, the queen of the home, the person who is in charge of the day-to-day running of the home as a woman. So you need to be awake to all of these things through knowledge, by seeking knowledge. Knowledge is one of it. So the more knowledge you seek on this area, the more you will discover, the more you will find out that you are beginning to know, you are beginning to wake up to the realities of your responsibility, to the realities of your duties, to the realities of even the level of accountability you should have in marriage, as a married man or as a married woman. So these things doesn't just come. They come through knowledge. They come when you are seeking out the information, when you are seeking out the knowledge. And this boils down to the father. How much knowledge are you seeking regarding marriage? How many books have you read about being a wife, about being a mother, about being a husband? Not just being a husband, being a good husband, about being a good father to your children. How many resources, information have you gone through just to equip yourself as much as possible? I tell you, these are your findings from seeking out this knowledge, are part of what will help you to wake up to the realities, of what your role entails as a man or as a woman in that marriage. It is that knowledge that will take away the veil off your eyes, that will open your eyes to the things you ought to be doing as a man or as a woman. That knowledge acquisition, knowledge gathering, seeking out information is very, very important. And that is why we have a place, a resource place like Marriage Clinic. I tell you, there is nothing you are looking for, no issue or no topic that has to do with marriage that you will not find, at Marriage Clinic. Both on our Facebook group page, we treat different topics, ranging from finances in marriage, ranging from sex in marriage, even how to handle your children, parenting, career, combining your career with being a wife or being a husband, different topic, with even the issue of in-laws are being treated, at Marriage Clinic. The same thing with our YouTube page. When you go to our YouTube channel, you will find a lot of resourceful material, a lot of videos where we have treated, so many topics, we have touched on so many areas in the past. And I tell you, these resources will help you to open your eyes as to what you should be doing, the right things you should be doing, what is expected of you as a man, as a husband, as a father that is responsible for children. There are some behaviors, that are expected of you. I mean, if you are a married man, it is not a good thing for your children to go about hungry, or to go about naked, or to go about begging when we have a man in the house. The purpose of a man in the house is to make sure that, the man works, and he ensures that there is provision being made available, for his wife and his children. But we do not rule out the fact that we go through phases in life, and there could be some phases where the man is experiencing challenges, maybe with his job or with his finances, and that is when we advise that the woman steps in. And that is when we also advise that even as a woman, it is not good for you to be idle. It is not good for you to just sit back and do nothing just because you have gone into marriage. It is always good for you to also have something you are doing, to have resources, in your hand, be earning as much as you can. I tell you, a lot of people do not wake up to this life reality until life throws a curveball at them, or life throws, hard times or challenges at them. That is when they suddenly wake up and realize that, hey, so I've been sleeping all this while. All this while I've not been doing anything, with my time, with my life. All I have to show is only marriage and kids. No other thing to show for the fact that you are alive, you are existing, nothing else to show other than the marriage. But the truth is, marriage will not pay bills. As a matter of fact, marriage will make your bills to increase. It's going to increase your bill. As a single person, you could afford, to drink gari with granuts. Gari is some form of cassava flour, in the part in Nigeria, in a part of Africa, that people take when they don't have money to buy nutritious meal. So you take gari with granite, and you can afford to do that back to back every day, 7 days a week. But once you are married, you can no longer, be drinking gari with granuts and having that as your dinner or lunch or breakfast. Because you have gotten married, you have to take care of that woman you are married to. You have to take care of your kids. Even if you can bear it, they may not be able to bear it. They need balanced diet to grow, especially when children start coming in. And some people do not wake up to all these realities until those things starts to happen, until children starts to come. That is when they realize that, hey, my income cannot support the home. My income is not sufficient to even support my wife and myself alone, talk less of supporting children, yet we are bringing these children into the world. So when you wake up to these realities, what do you need to do? You need to start finding ways to improve your economy, to improve your income, maybe through changing job, through there are so many things you can do to change your situation once you wake up to this reality. So the case of finances is just one. For some people, they do not wake up to their responsibility until they discover that, oh, their husband is beginning to look out there, or is beginning to cheat with another woman. That is when some women wake up to the consciousness of the father. Oh, I've actually been neglecting my husband. I've actually been prioritizing the children. I've actually, been found one thing in my responsibility to my husband, and that is when some wake up. But you don't need to wait till all these bad situations happen or go or play out before you wake up to the things you ought to be doing in marriage. Same thing for the man. You don't take care of the woman you marry, you don't treat her well, and before you know it, she finds comfort maybe in the hands of another man. She starts to look out there, and that is when you as a man will now wake up to the reality that, oh, it's like I'm not doing enough, I'm not caring enough for this person. But you don't need to wait for all those bad things, bad situations to happen to teach you, to wake up. You have to be prepared. You have to wake up. And one of the ways you need to wake up, or that will help you to wake up, is to seek knowledge. Gather as much knowledge as you can. Make marriage resource your friend. Marriage Clinic channel, for example, should be your go-to manual all the time. But don't always wait for something bad to happen before you wake up to life's reality. For some people, one of the reasons why their marriage is not working is because they've goofed with their in-laws. They've messed up the relationship with their in-laws. But you don't need to wait until everything is messed up before you learn your lesson. You can start equipping yourself with the necessary knowledge you need, equip yourself with the necessary resource you need, to know how to relate with them, how to avoid problems. Because I tell you, as short as that name is, in-laws, they can be very powerful. They can determine whether your marriage will last long or not. That is the honest truth. Because especially when you have those very controlling or influential mother-in-laws that can turn the heart of their child against you. I'm handling a case currently that the mother-in-law influence is heavy in that marriage, and because the guy is not listening to her dictate, they've gone their separate ways. Her daughter and the guy, they've gone their separate ways. And I'm like, why is your mother-in-law trying to dominate the marriage? But the honest truth is, you will have some mother-in-laws like that. So what do? You seek knowledge. Know how to relate with such people. You need to be awake to how to navigate your way with such people, because I tell you, you won't always meet good people on your path. You will meet a mix of good and bad people. So you must know how to recognize each of them for who they are, and how to relate with each of them for who they are, and to know what kind of relationship you should have with each of them, if at all you should have a relationship with them. And another thing, or another way you can wake up to life reality, is to surround yourself with experienced people, with experienced person, experienced mentorship programs, even experienced channel like ours, that different speakers have spoken. We have several resources. Surround yourself with all these things. The more you listen to these things, it's not too much. If you listen to it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, I tell you, The more you listen, the more your understanding grows, the more you grow in understanding. So try and surround yourself with experienced people, experienced teachers, experienced mentors in this area. It will go a long way in waking you up to the realities of another way to wake up to life's realities, or to the realities of marriage, or who you are in marriage, or what you should be doing in marriage by time. Another thing that can help you wake up to it is observation. You want to pay attention to everything happening in your home. You want to pay attention to everything happening in your marriage, happening to your kids, happening to your husband. You don't want to be distant from your spouse. You don't want to be distant from your husband, or from your wife, or from your children. You want to be observant. You want to notice what is happening, what is going on by time. And the reason why you are observing is so that you will know what adjustment to make, what improvement to make, what is needed, what needs to be done away with, and so many other things like that. Another way is through which you can also wake up, or help your spouse to wake up if they are not yet awake to the realities of life, or to the realities of marriage, is to pray for them. Pray for them to wake up on time. Pray for them to wake up on time, because I tell you, we have some big bodies. We have some big babies in adult bodies. We have some babies in big bodies. So that is, inside they are still like baby, despite the fact that they have big adult body. They look like they are adult, they bodily or biologically they look like they are matured for marriage, but honestly, internally, they are not just ready. They haven't woken up to what marriage entails, to what their duty is supposed to be. So that kind of marriage will be going through a lot of crisis. Why? Because your partner because your partner is here to wake up. So one of the ways you can help them to wake up to the realities of marriage, to life's realities, to keep praying for them. In your closet, in your privacy, pray for them. Tell God, Father, wake them up to their responsibility, wake them up to life's reality, wake them up, cause their heart to be awake, cause their soul to be awake. Because I tell you, some souls are sleeping. You may be alive, yet your soul is not awake to many things happening around you. So that is why with prayers you can help them. Lord, help them to be awake, to their responsibility, to life's reality. I always pray a prayer for our children that, Father, don't let it be long before these children wake up, to life's reality, before they wake up to their responsibilities in life, before they are waking, before their soul wakes up, before their mind wakes up. Because see, the earlier you wake up in life, the better. And that is why you will see some children, at age 14, 15, 16, they are already growing or gravitating towards independence. They are already gaining admission on their own. Their parents are not following them to anywhere. They are already self-sufficient. Some of them, they already know what to do to start earning at 18, 19. Some of them, the moment they gain admission into university, they don't even bother their parents for anything. Why? Because they know, even while they are studying, they know what business to do, what to do to earn, legitimately. And for some that need parental support, till they finish uni, once they finish uni, they go off on their own, looking for jobs on their own, creating businesses on their own, doing things on their own. These are children that have woken up early. Now you can now imagine when such children that woke up very early in life go into marriage, you would discover that the marriage will likely work out. Why? Because they already grew up, they've already trained themselves to take responsibility for self. So it won't be difficult for them to take responsibility for another being or for others. So they are already used to taking responsibility. They already know what to do to fend. They already know what to do to take care of the home. They already know what to do to have a job, to earn, to live life, So these are the kind of people you want to settle down with, not people that even though they are age 40, they are yet to wake up to life reality. They don't even know they are bearing, they don't know what they are doing. You don't want to go into marriage with such people, because I tell you, the marriage is going to have crisis and it may not last. So pray for them. Pray that God will wake them up. Even if you are not yet married, for your future husband or your future wife, pray for their heart, pray for their soul, that God will wake them up, that they will be awakened in their soul, that they will wake up early to life's reality, to life's responsibility, that they will wake up early to know what they should be doing better, that they will wake up early. Because if they don't wake up early, I tell you, they will be wasting time doing things that will not benefit the married, even doing things that will not benefit their life or your own life as their partner. So the earlier they wake up to life reality, the better for them, because they will be doing things that will not even be of benefit to their children, and they will not be able to support their children in any way. They will not be of benefit or usefulness, to parents, to children, to wife, and you don't want that to happen. And that is why you need to help them with prayers, praying for them that Father, wake them up, let the veil covering their eyes, covering their face, covering their minds, covering their hearts, let the veils be removed. Because once the veil is removed and they have the understanding of what they should be doing, I tell you, they will begin to find a way, to improve their life, to improve their situation, to change their situation, to make things work out in their marriages, to make things work out in their home. So you need to keep praying for your spouse. Father, wake them up early. Let them be awake to their responsibility early enough in life. Let them be awake to what they need to be doing, the things, even the paths they need to be following, the choices they need to make. Help them to be awake to make those right choices. It is very, very important. I would like to stop here now, because I don't want this video to be too long. But the truth is, every one of us, we need to be awake to our responsibility in marriage. We need to be awake to even life's reality. You need to wake up early in life, because the earlier you wake up to these things and you start to do these things, the better for you. It will help you, to get better results, to go far in life, and you will not struggle through life when you wake up early in life. But when you are still sleeping in life at age 40, at age 50, there will be a problem. You will be struggling. Even in the marriage, you are struggling to meet your children's needs, your wife's needs. You are struggling to be that role model that a wife or children can look up to. And we don't want that. Even as a woman, you need to wake up to your own responsibility as well. You need to wake up to life's reality. I tell you, see, there are women that their husband pass on, and once that happens, they are the one that will fend for themselves and fend for their children. There are women that even if their husband does not pass on, their husband gets sick, and that woman will become the breadwinner. We don't pray for that, but these are life's reality. We need to wake up to it, and we need to live as though anything can happen. There are men that they will abandon their wife, and they walk away from the marriage. And if that happens, what happened to the woman and the children? Someone was telling me about how a man left his wife with 3 children, and he went off. And now he's even married to another woman. So that lady with the 3 children, she's the one now working, fending for those 3 children. But because I was privileged to be at their wedding, and with that big elaborate wedding, if they told you that this marriage will eat the rock, I would have said no, it's not going to happen. But the marriage eats the rock. The guy left, and it's so sad to see things like that, but that is life, and you have to wake up early to the realities of these things. And when you are awake to the realities of this thing, then it will help to guide your step, it will help to guide your ways, to guide your path, to even guide your choices. When you are awake to the realities of this thing, that this is life, things can happen. But when you are living in delusion, in self-denial, when you are in darkness, you don't even know what is happening around you, you don't know what is happening in your home, in your family, to your children, that is when things will be falling apart, things will be going wrong right under your nose. Why? Because you are not awake to the things you ought to be awake to. So I would like to stop here now. May God help us to be awake to the things we ought to be doing part-time in our marriage, in our relationship, even in life generally, not only in every area of our life. Father, help us to be awake to them early, because the earlier you are awake to these things, I tell you, the better your success, the better your result, the better. For some of you, your way is not to be writing I beg to apply. Your way is to start business, and if you go in the path of business, you will make it in life. But because you are not yet awakened to that life's reality, to that truth about your life, you are still busy doing I beg to apply, I beg to apply. They are still throwing 30,000 jobs to 60,000 jobs. Meanwhile, God is telling you, hey, my son, my daughter, go in the way of business. But because you feel like everybody in this country, they go in the way of I beg to apply, so you too, you want to do I beg to apply. So it means you are yet to wake up to what you should be doing. So I pray God will wake up each and every one of us. We all will be awake to the things we should be doing. But I would like to stop here now because I don't want this video to be long. Please join us again next week. Hopefully, I'm going to bring another topic our way. Please don't forget to give us a like, give us a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know your thought on this topic, and don't forget to share this video with your friends, with your spouse, with your loved ones. Share it to those that it would help. Pray that God will bless our marriages and mend our homes. I remain your host, Malai Anofuti. Until we meet again, I say bye bye.
Marriage Clinic TV.